Many English learners know this moment. You are at a train station. Everything is normal. You have time. Everything feels easy.
And then something small happens. You see someone you know,
You start talking. You forget the time.
and suddenly it is too late.
You look up, and your train is leaving. One day, a man went to a train station. His name was Mark. Mark wanted to take a train to another city. He had a small bag and a train ticket in his hand. The station was busy. Many people were walking. Some people were sitting. Some people were looking at the big train board. Mark looked at his ticket. His train would leave in 15 minutes. He smiled. That is good, he thought. I have time. Mark walked slowly through the station. Then he saw a small bench near a window. He sat down. For a moment, he watched the people around him. A young woman was talking on the phone. Two friends were laughing together. A man with a big bag walked very fast. Mark liked train stations. People come, people go, everyone has a story. After a few minutes, Mark stood up. He wanted to walk a little. The station was not very big, but there were many small shops. There was a place to buy books, there was a place to buy food, and there was a small coffee shop. Mark walked past the coffee shop. Then he stopped. He looked again. Someone was standing near the door. At first, Mark was not sure, but then he looked closer. The other man looked very familiar. Mark took a step closer. The other man turned around. For a second, they both looked at each other. Then Mark smiled. "Tom?" he said.
The other man looked surprised. Then he smiled too. Mark? He said. They laughed. Wow, Tom said. I cannot believe this. Mark laughed again. It is really you. Tom and Mark had not seen each other for many years. They were friends when they were young. They went to the same school. They played football together. They talked every day. But after school, life changed. Tom moved to another city. Mark stayed in his hometown. Slowly, they lost contact. Years passed. Now they were standing in the same train station. Both men were smiling. This is crazy, Tom said. Yes, Mark said. Very crazy. They started talking. How are you? Tom asked. I'm good, Mark said. And you? I'm good too, Tom said. What are you doing here? Mark held up his ticket. I'm taking a train. Oh, really? Tom said. Me too. They both laughed again. For a moment, they just stood there and talked. They talked about their old school. They talked about their teachers. They talked about football. Then Tom looked at Mark and said, Do you remember our old football field? Mark smiled. Yes, he said. I remember everything. They continued talking. Time passed, but they did not look at the clock. They did not look at the train board. They were happy to see each other again. And when people are happy and talking, sometimes they forget the time.
Mark and Tom were still standing near the coffee shop. They were talking and laughing. It felt like the old days. Tom asked many questions. Where do you live now? He asked. I still live in my hometown, Mark said. And you? I live in a city near the sea, Tom said. That sounds nice, Mark said. Yes, Tom said. It is very beautiful. For a moment, they were quiet. Then Tom said something that made them both laugh. Do you remember our old teacher, Mr. Green? Mark laughed. Yes, of course. He was always very serious. Tom smiled. Yes, but sometimes he was also funny. They continued talking. They talked about their old school. They talked about their friends. They talked about the football games they played many years ago. For them, it felt like only a few days had passed. But in reality, many years had gone by. Then suddenly, they heard a voice from the speakers in the station. Attention please, the voice said. A train is now leaving from platform 4. Many people started walking quickly. Some people picked up their bags. Others looked at the big train board. Mark looked around. Then he looked at Tom. What platform is your train? Tom asked. Mark took his ticket out of his pocket. He looked at it. Platform 4, he said. For a second, both men were quiet. Then Tom looked at the clock. His eyes became big. Oh no, he said. Mark, your train.
Mark quickly looked at the clock. His train was leaving now. He turned and looked toward the platform. Through the big window, he could see the train. The doors were closing. People were already inside. For a moment, Mark did not move. He just watched the train. Then the train slowly started to move. It moved faster and faster, and after a few seconds, it was gone. Mark took a deep breath. "Well," he said quietly, "I think I missed my train." Tom looked at him. "I am so sorry," he said. "This is my fault." Mark shook his head. "No," he said, "it is not your fault." He smiled a little. "It was nice to see you again." Tom still looked a little worried. "But what will you do now?" he asked. Mark thought for a moment. Then he looked around the station. Many people were still walking. Some people were waiting for their trains. Life in the station was going on. Mark looked back at Tom. "How much time do you have?" he asked. Tom smiled. "A lot," he said. "My train is in 2 hours." Mark laughed. "Then maybe this is not such a bad day." Tom looked at him. "What do you mean?" he asked. Mark pointed toward the door of the station. "Let's go back into the city," he said. "We can get a coffee." Tom smiled. "That sounds like a very good idea." A few minutes later, they were walking out of the station together. The city was full of life. Cars were driving, people were talking, the sun was shining. Mark looked at Tom and said, "You know something?" "What?" Tom asked. "Sometimes," Mark said slowly, "life does not go as we plan." Tom nodded. "That is true." "But sometimes," Mark continued, "life gives us something better." Tom smiled. "Yes," he said, "like meeting an old friend." They walked down the street together, and this time, they were not thinking about trains.
So, Lily, let's think about the story again. Where did our story begin?
It began at a train station. A man named Mark was there.
Yes, that's right. And why was Mark at the train station?
He wanted to take a train to another city.
Exactly. And did Mark have a lot of time?
Yes, he had about 15 minutes, so he thought everything was fine.
But then something interesting happened.
Yes, Mark saw someone near the coffee shop,
At first, he was not sure, but then he looked again.
and the man looked familiar.
Do you remember who it was?
Yes, it was Tom, his old friend.
Right. Mark and Tom were friends many years ago.
But they did not see each other for a long time.
So when they met again, they were very happy.
Yes, they started talking right away.
What did they talk about?
They talked about school, they talked about football, and they talked about old friends.
They talked for a long time, but there was one small problem.
Yes, they forgot the time.
And then something important happened.
They heard a voice in the station.
The voice said a train was leaving.
Mark looked at his ticket and he saw something surprising,
His train was leaving right now.
but it was too late,
The doors were closing.
and the train started moving.
So, Lily, what happened to Mark's train?
He missed it.
Yes, he did. But was Mark very angry?
No, he was not angry,
Why not?
because he was happy to see his old friend.
Exactly. Sometimes meeting a friend is more important than catching a train. Okay, Lily, let's ask our listeners some questions.
Good idea.
Question 1. Why was Mark at the train station?
He was there because he wanted to take a train.
Very good. Question 2. Who did Mark meet at the station?
He met his old friend Tom.
That's right. Question 3. Why did Mark miss his train?
Because he was talking with Tom, they forgot the time.
Yes, that's the answer. Question 4. What did Mark and Tom do after the train left?
They left the station and they went back into the city.
Exactly. They wanted to spend more time together. Now, let's look at some words from the story.
Yes, these words can help you understand the story better.
First word, station. A station is a place where trains stop. Example, the train station is very busy today.
Second word, ticket. A ticket is something you need to take a train. Example, Mark has a train ticket.
Third word, platform. A platform is the place where you enter the train. Example, the train is on platform 4.
Fourth word, miss. To miss something means you are too late. Example, Mark missed his train.
fifth word, friend. A friend is someone you like and trust. Example, Tom is Mark's old friend. You know, Lily, Mark missed his train,
Yes, he did.
but maybe that was not such a bad thing.
I think you are right,
Why do you think so?
because Mark met his old friend and they had time to talk again.
Yes, sometimes life surprises us,
Sometimes a small problem brings a beautiful moment.
and sometimes a missed train becomes a very good day.
Thank you for listening to this slow English story.
You can listen again if you want,
Maybe the story will be easier the second time.
and maybe you will learn some new words.
See you in the next episode.
Take care and keep learning English.
Thanks so much for spending time with us today.
We hope you enjoyed this episode and learned something new without even noticing it.
If you like the English Adventure podcast, make sure to follow us and listen to more episodes.
And remember,
You don't need to be perfect to speak English.
you just need to start.
See you in the next English Adventure.